Alright, so morning. So this is week 2 of the Artist Way, my review. Um, this week I feel like it just built on last week. It really was geared towards, skepticism and self-doubt of yourself. So apart from my morning pages, I had to write 3 affirmations that I created to help me overcome what would benefit me the most. One of them is I'm cool and deadly during live performances. So yeah, and my artist date this week, one thing I've decided to start doing weekly is be a music fan again. So just spend time just listening to music again. I feel like once you become an artist, like you just kind of stop listening to music. And the whole reason I started doing music was because I was such a big fan of music to begin with. So that has been really fun to, dance around and basically have a little party and vibes in my head a little every week. I also painted this week. It's something I've always enjoyed doing. It's very calming to me. I might not be like the biggest painter. It's not really about that, but it was really nice to do that. Oh, there it is in the background right there. See? Yeah, right there. So yeah, I realized I didn't really. So I went and watched Dochi's week 1, and when she held up her notebook of artist pages, I was like, it's easy to fill those 3 pages. But me, I have a big old book, and yes, I write 3 of these pages every single day. I mean, it's kind of crazy that I'm able to fill so many pages. Yeah, they had an exercise last week where I cross out like my Monsters Hall of Fame. I think I mentioned that last week. So yeah, there it is. So much writing. This is literally how much is on my mind every single morning. So it's crazy. Oh, we had to do this circle of how balanced our life is. So you have spirituality, exercise, play, work, friends, romance, and adventures. So mine is pretty unbalanced. And so I'm going to try and balance that. It's a bit hard when you're a mom. I mean, even getting morning pages is a task because my son wants to wake up as I am waking up. He'll be sleeping, minding his own business, sleeping, and just because I'm up, he's going to wake up. So I have to sneak and get this done before he wakes up. And those are the best mornings. Those are mornings I don't struggle to get to my 3 pages in my big ass notebook. So yeah, so let's do the weekly check-in. I'm supposed to do this from Saturday, but really just getting the time. Is this week 2? Yes. All right. How many pages this week did you do your morning pages? I did it every single day. I love it because, as I said, it has reduced my anxiety, my stress levels. My stomach is better because of it, just because I get to get everything out first thing in the morning. Yeah. How was the experience for you? Oh, I kind of answered that. How did the morning pages work for you? Well, I think I answered that. It works well, and it creates room to just think about other things apart from life and how I'm feeling. And I didn't realize how much of a deep thinker and over processor I was until I started doing morning pages. Like, I will have one thing on my mind for a couple days. So before I did morning pages, it was kind of like my brain was just like this junkyard of everything I felt every day overflowing into each day and just dumping on top of each other, which automatically created like just being anxious. Like, there's just, my brain is just so busy, you know. Describe them. For example, they felt so stupid. I'd write all these itty bitty disconnected things. No, I mean, when I just started my morning pages, they were very disconnected, like just all over the place. They're definitely way more structured now. They're deeper now. Except for the days when something is going on and like I need to de-stress about it. Remember, if you're writing morning pages, they are working for you. What were you surprised to find yourself writing about? Answer this question in full on your check-in page. This will be a weekly self-scan of your moods, not your progress. Don't worry if your pages are whiny and trite. Sometimes that's the very best thing for you. So I guess for me, these videos are my check-in page. I was surprised to notice that I wrote about, you know, this week I wrote about, you know, what is the purpose of life, you know, and kind of that, you know, even though I have Christian beliefs, you know, sometimes I think about reincarnation and it just makes sense, you know. So that was you know, I was saying that purpose of life is learning to make choices. So it would make sense that it's recurring, that we come back in different lives to see if we learned from the past life, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it just kind of makes sense to me in a way. Did I do my artist date this week? Yes. Remember that artist dates are a necessary frivolity. What did you do? How did it feel? As I said, I painted. I really wanted to go for a walk and take photos, like photojournalistic photos. That's something I haven't done in a while, and I thought I would enjoy that, but it just didn't work out. I can't go walking by myself, so I would have to convince Steph to come with me. And that did not work out, so I painted instead. And it felt good to paint again. Yeah, it did. Nice little quiet time for myself. Were there any other issues this week that you consider significant for your recovery? Describe them. I think this week I did DJ AG, and for the first time I did not think about the crowd's opinion, and that's a big deal considering the crowd that I was in front of. It was the average Jamaican, you know, a lot of industry people, you know. I just did not, even though I was anxious, my heart was pounding out of my chest, I'm more focused on, you know, being good. And I did find myself settle into it and not focus so much about, you know, oh, am I gonna make a mistake? Or, you know, I caught myself a lot when I did my part. So yeah, I conquered a huge fear this week. And the artist way definitely has a lot to do with me being even able to do that. You know, I didn't overthink it as much as I would. I was completely sober, and it was the most focused I was on my performance versus thinking about 10 million things. So I think the morning pages helped with that. I think the affirmations helped with that. And just, as I said, killing off those monsters that I had in my head, you know, drawing those red X's through it really did something. And the only thing I wish I remembered to do right before the performance was pray. But that was it. So yeah, I think there is great recovery happening. I also write 2 bad songs this week. So it's definitely happening. It's working. I am excited to edit it up. I also learned that just recording off of pure emotion and just the fly of the feeling of the song leads to less needing to think about, oh, how should I vocally produce this track, you know? Like, it's easier to let go when you're feeling it in the moment. I think not being able to record myself on spot and having these songs stored in my head for a long time, and then when I got to the studio, it made me anxious because I wanted it to be as good as I felt it in my head, and you end up overthinking. It's crazy. So being able to record myself as I get the idea has done wonders. I don't have to overthink it, I just have to feel. And that's a big goal for me, to just stop over processing and just start living. So yeah, I think even though I don't feel like this week it was like a huge build or a bigger lesson than last week. It just kind of cemented what we did last week. So I'm excited about week 3. So that is my review of week 2. So I'll see you next week for week 3.